the Knicks look to swing for the fences and land the superstar in Giannis Antetokounmpo. There's been recent reports that may show us why that might not be possible. Of course, Coach Tibbs recently let go, and this caused a lot of controversy amongst Knicks fans and people in the community. We're going to talk about that. We'll also talk about Mikal Bridges and his upcoming contract extension. Will that be a problem? Will he have to move? We'll also talk about Smoke of the Week. Got an interesting Smoke of the Week, just like last week's Smoke of the Week. We'll get to that. Of course, Comment of the Week, Nick of the Week. Well, no Nick of the Week. That's next season. I'm still in playoff mode. Sorry, y'all. Playoffs is over. But we'll talk about all that and all and more on This Week Inside the Knicks. Welcome, everyone, to This Week Inside the Knicks. I am your host, Karan Pierre, the objective fan, straight out of Kings County, New York City's finest. And you know the vibes, y'all. So welcome to the show, man. This is the first episode of the off season, right? Playoffs is over, unfortunately. It ended kind of bad. Pacers beat us, but it's all good. You know, we'll be back. You know, a lot of changes I expect to be made. Coach Tibbs out of here. Salute to some of the people in the building early. Knicks will be champs 25-26. I see you. He said, yes, the ship has sailed on Giannis. Yeah, we'll get to that. Yuri, yes, I started the video. Yuri, salute to you. Crime's dad, yes, I started the show. Salute to Darlene. I see you. Knicks will be champs 25-26. Let's go. Let's go, y'all. So, a couple of things before we get started. Call-up show on Friday was lit. If you missed it, it was definitely a good watch. Got to see some of my early concerns about Coach Tibbs, and I'm gonna get to Coach Tibbs, more about Coach Tibbs in a second. But I thought that I thought it was a good show. I thought that everyone responded well. I'm going to try to get another members only live in this week. Not sure if I'm going to be able to do it, but I'm going to try. Any more announcements? Of course, Knicks call-up show. I'm not changing the time. I'm going to keep it at 10:45. So be on the lookout for that. Trying to think, is there anything else? Any other channel announcements? That's all. By the way, if you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button so you get all the notifications. And also hit the like button so more cool Knicks fans can check out the video. And if you are a subscriber, consider joining the channel. We'll talk more about that stuff later. I think I'm going to jump straight into research mode. So on this blog, we jump... Oh, hold on. Give me 2 seconds. I got to do something in the back. But on this blog, this podcast is associated with a blog called thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. So that's what we'll be working off of right now. I just got to troubleshoot my studio mode. So just give me 2 seconds so I can make sure that I have the browser there so we can read the sources together. Let's see. In the meantime, in between time, look at some of your chats. Oh, really? Knicks will be champ says, I'm up there with still Knicks fans for 4-hour live streams. Let's go, man. Hey, those call-up shows. It's funny you say that, right? The call-up show, and Maxine gets mad at me because she's like, why are you on live for so long? But the call-up show is an opportunity for you guys to speak. So, I allow you guys to talk, I could cut the calls off after 1 minute. Maybe if I get a lot more calls, I will. But, you guys have a lot of interesting things to say. So if I feel like somebody like a Darkosaurus Rex or a Ron from Baltimore, somebody like that who calls up, who always has substance to say, I let you guys rock. I don't, cut the calls early. Wow, I'm back in research mode. Okay, cool. So, like I said, we'll be reading from thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. This is the weekly digest. It has all of the news from the time period of June 2nd to the 8th, right? And this is where we are. So if you notice anything that you see that we don't cover, you could go here and read all the news and catch up on everything you might have missed. So normally we will have a whole bunch of special highlights because the playoffs is over. There's no regular season. We only got one special highlight, and that is the Knicks and Pacers series was the most watched Eastern Conference final since 2014. And 3 series over that span, you had the Cavaliers, Celtics, the Heat, Celtics, Heat, Celtics. So we outdid a lot of these series, right? So salute to the Knicks for bringing the views. And clearly there was an article, I think we might have talked about it last week, where they were talking about how the NBA doesn't really mind not having New York or LA in the finals for this 1 year because there's only 1 year and the TV deal is already signed. But you clearly see we bring the viewers. We bring the viewers. And this is proof that this is not rigged. The NBA is not rigged. I joke about NBA cheat codes. The NBA is not rigged. It don't make no sense. And it's just the you know, one of the strange things that happen in reality, right? So that's the only special highlight I got. I'm going to jump into Coach Tibbs getting fired. And if you just joined, these are some of the topics we'll get into, right? Now, I'm gonna talk about Coach Tibbs. Coach Tibbs, you know, I thought it was a shocker that, you know, they let him go. Didn't really foresee that coming. But I guess it was a move that we had to make. Now, JJP, salute to you, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. He was like, you know, the front office, we don't really leak anything, right? Everybody is kind of tight-lipped. You know, they don't share no information. Boy, has that not been true. We got so many messages or so much information on things that happen that, I mean, I feel like there is no secrecy anymore. Everything, you know, is left up to, well, of course, nobody's putting their name on it, but people are talking, right? And Shams, salute to Shams, he's been on top of this whole thing. The Knicks have had internal meetings this week to reevaluate everything from coaches to players. I do expect the Knicks to be aggressive, right? Tibbs has the support not only of Jalen Brunson, but also the front office. This is what Shams put up, okay? Based off of his sources and where he was 7 days ago. What this tells me is that the move to let Tibbs go was not something more than likely that was a decision that was made prior to this point. I do got another source talking about it. We're going to get to the bottom of this, right? But I'm starting to believe, based off what I seen, that this was like kind of a on the moment kind of firing. That's why the coaching search is so extensive, right? It's because I don't think they were planning on letting Tibbs go at this point. But based on the results of these meetings, players talking and all these things and all the criticisms, I'm going to get to some of that, right? That's what it initially led to Coach Tibbs being fired. Now, the players hadn't tuned out Coach Thibodeau, one source told ESPN, but there was doubt that he could lead them to the finals, right, after the way the Knicks lost to the Pacers. He got out coach, at least source familiar with the situation told ESPN. The Game 1 collapse was insane. If they don't have that collapse, who knows what happened, right? So to add to the Game 1 collapse, to add to the embarrassing loss to the Pacers. By the way, I forgot to say, the Pacers did lose last night. You know, I kind of, you know, I was happy to see that. I ain't gonna cap. I was happy to see them get smacked. They should have got smacked the first game, but Mark Duggan made the same mistakes that we made. But that one costly mistake, as long as the others, you know, losing the series, eventually led to Coach Tibbs being up out of here. Right? for 5 years, that's exactly what Rose did. Those who know him well, those who know them well marveled at how Rose kept Thibodeau from spiraling out over minor issues and focused on the bigger picture. Thibodeau's tendency to wear himself out was fine, as one source put it, but Rose largely kept him from wearing out the other people. So they're trying to say that Coach Tibbs and Brunson in the Roommates podcast, they hinted towards this, but I don't even think we needed them to hint towards it. We know that Coach Tibbs is a workaholic. He's married to the game of basketball. So they're saying because of Coach Tibbs, extreme work habits, Leon Rose had to manage him to prevent him from putting that strain and pressure on the others in the front in the organization, the other coaches, right? There's more. Okay, so I'm really beginning to believe that all of this was due to Coach Tibbs, him, and him in the playoffs, more in particular, losing to the Pacers the way they did, and what the players was telling the management. Okay, so here's another source. But the decision to replace Tom Thibodeau, one source told the ESPN, had been trending in that direction for months. The team simply wasn't maximizing its talent despite having 2 All-NBA players, Brunson and Towns. After meeting with the select group of players and coaches this week, remember the meeting that Shams said? Sources said it was clear that the organization needed a new voice. Once again, this is why I'm beginning to believe that the reason why they let go of Tom Thibodeau had more to do about what was discussed in this meeting. Even though for months it's been trending that way, there was some ultimatums that was placed. I think I got those, right, with the Boston series. I think that's coming. But I'm just trying to show y'all that how, the Coach Tibbs thing, I think it was kind of just like on the moment they had their meetings, let him go. Let's see. Here's another controversial take. This guy, James Dolan. Salute to James Dolan. Jim Dolan. The Dolan Foundation. I'm going to give a big time salute to them. But I'm going to say this. And I'll be talking about this more in the Smoke of the Week. Us as Knicks fans, we are watching. And the clock is still ticking, okay? What was clear about Tom Thibodeau's firing being spearheaded by Knicks owner James Dolan, sources told Yahoo Sports. Dolan and team president Leon Rose held exit meetings with key players and complaints were clear. Dolan, whom sources said was never a huge Thibodeau fan, through the years, asked the questions in the meeting while Rose took a secondary role. I'm gonna talk more about that later, but Rose took a secondary role in the meetings. Okay, interesting stuff. There's more, ladies and gentlemen. Players were respectful of the veteran coach, who they had a great deal of respect and admiration for, but they also pointed out in those meetings that there were things that Thibodeau did that could be improved. So I'm not gonna say they threw Thibodeau under the bus, but they wasn't giving him no grace either, right? Interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. I'm just gonna keep it. I'll be keeping a report, and then to double down on what I just said about player input, right? Ian Begley, right? So the players' input on James Dolan. So I did an unfiltered thought on Jalen Brunson, okay? And I'm just, of course, channel members, go watch the video if you didn't watch it, right? But the title of the video is Jalen Brunson holds no weight. He holds no weight. Jalen Brunson spoke highly of Coach Tibbs. We talked about it on last week's episode, when he made the slip up and said he was overconfident. He said that Coach Tibbs, he really, was like kind of taken aback by the question about Coach Tibbs and how he really believes in Coach Tibbs. And then literally Days later, Coach Tibbs is out of here. He's gone. And his teammates clearly did not care, right? Because they were throwing him under the bus. Yeah. Okay. Let's see what else I got. There's a lot here. Like I said, I'm not going to read everything here, but if you are interested in seeing all of the sources here about Coach Tibbs getting fired, all you got to do is go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com, click on the 2025 offseason, episode 1, and you'll be able to see everything I'm talking about. Okay? Now, let's see. Here's another thing. And remember the Mikal Bridges scenario where he told Stephon Bondi that he had discussions with Coach Tibbs about playing the guys too many minutes? Clearly, I was wrong about that. That's a bigger deal because a couple of players, and it's not just him, a couple of players felt like Thibodeau played the starters too many minutes. They felt like he had an inability to adjust. And another player said he felt like he could play for Thibodeau if the coach, felt like he did. Let me get my mind right. Another player said he didn't, okay, keyword didn't, that's the word I forgot, feel like he could play for Thibodeau if the coach returned next season. Now, who was that player? Who was that player? I'm curious to know who that player was that said they felt like they wasn't able to play for him. I'm going to tell you right now, off the top of the head, I know who it wasn't. Towns, Hart. For sure it wasn't those two. Guaranteed 100,000%. They said when the minutes thing came out, they said we love playing the minutes. So I know it wasn't. So now we could go process of elimination here. Those two for sure did not care about minutes. Captain, was it Captain? I doubt it was Captain because Captain, he's only had positive things to say about Coach Tibbs. Would he throw him under the bus in the Tibbs meetings? I doubt it. That's why I say Brunson holds no weight. That's part of the reason why I say he holds no weight. You got Mikal Bridges. You got OG Anunoby. I'm thinking it was them two. I don't know who. But I'm beginning to think it was one of those two that threw Coach Tibbs under the bus, okay? And they said, hey, man, I don't think I could play for him next season. And the reason why I'm leaning more towards OG Anunoby on that one is because they already locked him up for the big 5-year, $212 million. Mikal's contract is uncertain. If they can't work out this bag, Mikal might be up out of here. If they can't work out the bag, I'm just saying, they got there's some business that needs to be adjusted. So I don't know who it was, but it's very interesting. I'm just going to say that. Very interesting. Let's see. Okay. There's more. There's a lot here, man. Let's see. I think this is saying the same thing. He got out coached. Why New York fired the most successful coach in decades? Let's see. Thibodeau told ESPN in 2021, I love being here in the 90s, right? But I always knew how lucky I was to be with the Knicks. I love the challenge. Went to Chicago. Like Thibodeau, Rose had grown up as a Knicks fan. All that family stuff, man. Out of here, man. Oh, my God. I wonder how tough that was on Leon Rose to fire his client, his former client. That was his man's. I don't know, man. It's rough, man. It's rough out here being a coach for the Knicks. Good luck to the next coach because you fans, ruthless. Let that coach breathe wrong. Oh, man, did you see how the coach breathed? Yeah, he should have took the breath like this. The decision was ultimately Rose's to make. Yes, owner James Dolan supported the decision to fire Thibodeau. I understand, based on past history, why the Knicks fans would think Dolan would be heavy-handed here. Well, we got another report saying that he spearheaded the meeting and Rose was just quiet. Kind of, you know what that's like? I felt like maybe Rose was feeling some type of way because that's his man. Respect, that's all due respect, right? And I remember when Worldwide West kind of felt the same way with Emmanuel Quickley. There was rumors that he cried tears when he told Emmanuel Quickley he had to trade him. So maybe, Rose wasn't happy to do it, but he finally, decided that, this is the best move for the franchise. Right? So past history, we would think Dolan is involved. He has a long history of getting overly involved in basketball decisions, but that changed with the hiring of Leon Rose and Phil Jackson, right? For what I think it's worth, I think he stopped forcing executive decision once Phil Jackson, okay. Dolan obviously cares about all the moves made and holds the team to a high standard, but he didn't force Rose to make a decision that the team president wasn't comfortable with. If Rose didn't want to fire Thibodeau, he would have resigned alongside his head coach on Tuesday. He didn't do that, which tells you that he wasn't forced to do anything against his will. So Leon Rose, I do believe that he was the guy to make the decision. I believe it was on him. It wasn't on the owner. And then there's some comments from the fans and stuff like that. I'm not going to get into that. If you want to read that, all of that's here. Pretty much everything news-wise that took place with Coach Tibbs being fired, I got it here, okay? And I think this is the last Tibbs thing I'm going to move on from. Now, this is another take that kind of contradicts what I just read. But Zach Lowe said, rule of thumb, anytime it is leaked through the reporters that this was a GM's decision, not an owner's decision, it means the owner did have a role in the decision, whether he wants to say it or not. So you take that as, I don't know. I don't know, ladies and gentlemen. I don't know. But Zach Lowe said that that's the rule of thumb. What do you guys believe? What do I believe? I think that Leon Rose, it was his decision. I don't think Dolan got involved with that. I think Dolan is genuine when he says that he doesn't make the decisions. Only thing he does, he helps with the planning, and he holds Leon Rose accountable for the plan that he created. So salute to everybody that just joined. I appreciate all of the support. Make sure you guys hit that like button as you enter, and subscribe if you're not subscribed. Oh, by the way, we got some special guests in the building. Salute to Still Knicks fans. He says, I actually think it could have been Mikal because there's no guaranteed extension. If you want to extend me, understand that I'm not happy. Yeah, you know what? That makes sense too. I think it's either he or OG. Because OG, I don't really remember him saying anything about minutes. And OG doesn't give you much when he talks to media. Salute to J-Tap, Mixtape Madness Discord server channel member, and one of the first mods on the channel. Salute to you, J-Tap. Dolan was on the phone playing Candy Crush during all of the interviews. No, they said that Leon Rose was the one playing Candy Crush, J-Tap. They said it was Leon Rose. He was quiet. Crim's dad said, I can't see OG speaking up. Man, I don't know, man. It was more than one player. But JJPNYC, if you out there, channel member, Mixtape Madness Discord server, you said that there was no, everything is tight-lipped. No, it's not. It's definitely not. There's more, too. They've been telling it all the business, contacting ESPN, contacting Yahoo Sports, sharing extra information. Let's see. Crim's dad, what you in here starting trouble? Fritz says he and Tiz were good friends. However, they weren't on speaking terms for most of the season. I did see that. I think I do got that somewhere, Fritz. That there was some tension there. I know he had tension too, Fritz, with the other people in the front office. They didn't like him. I know that for a fact as well. Most likely OG and a few bench players. I don't think the bench players hold weight, Juan Rivera, because most of them ain't going to be here. And also the bench players that's getting minutes, I don't see them having problems. Like, so Deuce, Mitch came back late. I don't know. Maybe Mitch felt some type of way. I don't know. Salute to FS Wisdom. I see you in the building. Jalen Brunson is either the most passive superstar ever or maniacal genius behind the scenes. Knicks will be chance. I think you put that on the unfiltered thought comment. I think you put that on there too when I said Brunson holds no weight. I'm going to tell you like this, Knicks will be champs. I think Brunson holds no weight. I'm going to keep it real. He holds no weight. He makes no demands, right? The Nova boys that we have is not because Brunson went to the front office and said, I need you to get those guys. No, he was surprised when Josh Hart was here. He jumped for joy when he was in Villanova. He was so happy, right? It was like a shock. It wasn't like, yeah, I made the move. I made the call. Go get Josh Hart. He's not pulling moves like that, right? Giannis Antetokounmpo, he's going to pull moves like that. His brother was getting a free check to do nothing. Jokic, what did I say? Go get Russell Westbrook. So, yeah, Brunson is just very passive. And I don't like it. I don't like it. I'm going to move forward, though, guys. Keep the comments coming. There's a lot here. Off-season edition. Like I said, I'm on thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. These are some of the topics I'm getting to. Talked about Coach Tibbs. Now I'm going to talk about some of his candidates that people jumping out the woodwork with candidates. They want this guy, this guy. I never understood the logic of having a list of coaches and guys are with other teams already. Like, I just don't understand it. Oh, but before I get into that, I do got to give a big time salute to the other New York teams. By the way, New York Liberty, the best team in New York City, doing their thing, undefeated. You know what I'm saying? 8-0. Also, the Yankees and Mets. Salute to both the Yankees and Mets as well. First place. Hopefully, we could get some more championships, man. We need some championships. The Knicks let us down. So, hopefully, those franchise. I forgot I wanted to start off with giving those other teams props because I looked at the standings just to see where they were at. First place. That's all I want to see. So, let me continue. So, I'm going to talk about some of the coaching stuff. Now, salute to LeBron James and Steve Nash. I had no time to check out their podcast. I'm pretty sure it's good. So LeBron James and Steve Nash said that the Knicks, they need this from a new coach. This is the type of new coach that they need. And people act like, okay, because it's so easy to look at the highlights, right? It's so easy to see when something goes right. You don't look at the 100 times when it doesn't work. It says the Knicks must find their Rick Carlisle to make the leap. So that's what they suggested, that the Knicks, they need to find that guy that's going to get them over the hump. Real quickly about Rick Carlisle. Salute to Rick Carlisle. He's a really good coach, great coach, amazing. I think he's on the short list of coaches to take two teams to the finals. Incredible guy. Pacers are not winning the championships. They're not. Pacers are. So yes, while he's doing a great job, this league, in order to have success, you need superstars. You need first teams. You need all NBAs. We're going to talk about the Giannis trade a little bit later. That's what you need to be successful in this league, right? So the notion that we need to get the Rick Carlisle so he could take this roster and get us to a finals, I don't think it's going to work. And also, you know how hard it is to find a Rick Carlisle? Like, Rick Carlisle is one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. He's the top 10 coach all time. You're not going to just find a Rick Carlisle like that. It's not easy to find a coach like that. And then a lot of people just have these unrealistic expectations. Like, for example, you're going to get a young coach that never coached, but you want to win a championship. Like, what's the example of that? You don't have examples of that. Joe Mazzulla in Boston is an aberration. That is not the norm. This is not the norm. We don't have what Boston had. We don't got Jason Tatum, Jaylen Brown, 4 All-Stars, great defense. We don't have all of that. So don't try to make it like we are something that we're not. And I honestly think that, while I appreciate what they're trying to say, because they're looking at the team. They're looking at the team that we have. And yes, it would take a Rick Carlisle like coach to get us out over the hump because we don't got the All-NBA All-Star MVPs. And SGA is getting ready to show you the value in having a first team MVP caliber player. So while I hear them, I really want to get over the hump and get that star player. I really do. No knock to Brunson. I know Brunson's incredible. I love Jalen Brunson. He's amazing. He's the best thing that happened to the Knicks since Patrick Ewing. Will he be the first teamer? I doubt he become an MVP, but will he get to the first team? That's the hump. I think that's the goal for him. It's not about the award as much as it is taking your game to that level, that next level. More so, I think that's how it would look. And for me, the next level for Brunson would be 26 points, 10 assists, right? Helping the team get more wins. Let's get 55 wins. Let's get to a first seed. Our first seed it'll be the first time we get to the first seed in 32 years. Those things will help you become an All-NBA first teamer. So could Brunson do it? Yes, he could. And I hope he does it. I hope he does it. But until that happens, I don't know. But let's see. It's a lot here. Like I said, once again, I'm not going to read everything here. So, because the Knicks are the only team looking for a coach right now, according to league sources, the Knicks are not expected to make an immediate hire. Okay? So, they're going to take their time. There's no competition. Everyone has their coach. I hope it doesn't take too long because I would love for the coach to get a good part of the summer, especially coming into summer league. You know what your team, well, you have an idea of what you're working with core-wise. Maybe there might be a trade. I don't know. But of course, I think Leon Rose will get the new coach, keep the new coach abreast of what moves they're trying to make. So I don't want it to take too long. But I don't mind them taking their time. Especially because I really do believe that the Tibbs firing was kind of like, even though it's been brewing, I don't think they had the idea they were going to fire him until they seen what the players were saying. So the players started throwing him under the bus. That's when they said, hey, we gotta get him up out of here. We got to make a move now. Let's see. So here's a list of some of the coaches. Let's see which list looks the best. So here's a list of some of the coaches that we were talking about, okay? Now, I never understood how we could be looking at coaches that's already signed, that's already, you know what I'm saying? They got contractual obligations. The last time that I remember a coach under contract left to go to another team was when the Celtics traded Doc Rivers to the Clippers. For the first time. Now, I think that was also the first time in NBA history where a coach was actually traded. They had a package for a coach. I'd never seen it. So I just didn't understand that logic. But maybe it's possible. I don't know. Maybe it's possible, right? So these are the guys that were fired: Taylor Jenkins, Mike Malone, Mike Brown. Mike Brown is somebody who I think we talked about it on the call-up show. I said, yo, is Mike Brown a great coach? Or was he with LeBron? What has he really... Coaching is important, but having those All-NBA first-team MVPs are even more important. Mike Budenholzer, no one's talking about him. How you guys feel about Mike Budenholzer? I understand that's how it works. Like, everyone gets fired at some point, but it's just like a caution in the wind for me to get a coach that was just fired. I don't know. It's just, how you guys feel about Jeff Van Gundy? You think he'll come back? Yo, you know what? Is Red Holzman the only coach? Is Red Holzman the last coach to actually fulfill their extension? Like, Coach Tibbs didn't even get a chance to even get to year 1 of his extension. Jeff Van Gundy resigned in the middle of his extension. When's the last time the Knicks had a coach not only get an extension, because that's an accomplishment in Knick history feat, because most coaches don't get extensions, but to actually go through and finish it? I don't know, man. Jeff Van Gundy's not coming back, bro. He loves being, the assistant, the consultant. He ain't trying to deal with that New York stress. You crazy? Now we got Johnny Bryant, right? Johnny Bryant, who honestly, I think he's the favorite for the job. You gonna bring in a rookie coach, young guy, in New York City with this media, with this fan base, where everything is under a microscope? So now you coming behind the guy that has 251 seasons. Yeah, he wasn't liked. Yeah, they got on him. Yeah, they ridiculed him. But that's going to be a tough act to follow. That's going to be a tough act to follow, if you ask me. Royal Ivy. If we're going to get a new coach, I prefer a guy like Roy Ivy, a guy who honestly was a player, right? A guy who actually maybe even a little older. I don't want a younger guy, too fresh, because y'all going to eat them up. And I don't know if they're going to be able to deal with it. These other guys, I don't know who these guys are. David Akinoe, I don't know who. David Bliss, don't know who these guys are. But they're part of OKC. Jay Wright's not coming. Shut that down. Don Hurley, he shut that down. Not coming. Calipari, definitely not coming. And I'm good. I don't want Calipari. Can we talk for a minute? Ime Udoka, the Rockets said hell no. Tyronn Lue, hell no. I'm telling you, they didn't say hell no, but it's going to be a hell no. Brad Stevens is an executive. Why would he leave that position? Mitch Johnson, I don't know. Maybe. Jamal Mosley, under contract. Eric Spoelstra, under contract. Just signed his contract. And these are some other prospects. Chris Quinn. Don't really know much about these guys. Darvin Ham I know about. I think we need to stay away from Laker guys. Anybody who's with the Lakers organization, I think that would be a mistake. So no. Rick Brunson. I'm going to get to Rick Brunson in a second. So that's a list of, just a general list of what's out there. I do want to talk about Jason Kidd, though. To all my Jason Kidd people, and I'm somebody that really wants Jason Kidd. So this was 2 days ago. Well, this was over the weekend. Brad Townsend, as of late yesterday, was told the Knicks hadn't asked permission formally or informally to interview Jason Kidd. If it's New York that leaked the at Steinline, it intends to ask in the coming days. It's an odd way of doing business. Sending a test balloon to see if it gets shot down. So the Knicks never even formally went to the Dallas Mavericks. The Dallas Mavericks hasn't even put out a response, right? So do you really think that you really have a chance of getting Jason Kidd? I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know, man. Listen, I can't wait to get the smoke of the week, though. So let's see where else I want to go. Like I said, all this stuff is on This Week Inside, thenix.com. How you guys feel about Meta World Peace? Meta World Peace wants to be the coach of the Knicks. He believes he's the guy for the job. Meta is the perfect choice to head coach for the Knicks since 1999. This was supposed to happen. I never ran from the city. When all the top players left NYC, it was hard. I went to St. John's. Salute to St. John's. Red Storm in the house, you know what I'm saying? I wanted to be drafted by the Knicks. That's a fact. I remember that. I seem to be the only one unafraid of the city. I'm built to challenge the city. I'm built to challenge the city. I'm the number one guy for the job. How you guys feel about Meta? Maybe Meta is the guy who we need to come in here and just shake it up. I don't know. At this rate, everybody's up for grabs now. It don't matter if you got a deal. It don't matter if you don't got a deal. It don't matter if you retired. Man, we pulling out coaches out the woodwork. Also, J.R. Smith, I'm riding with J.R. I don't know what the F is going on. I don't get it. Back-to-back 51 season. First time since when? Since George Karl. I'm going to talk about that in a second. Bro, it's so bad. I direct message Stephen A. Smith just to ask him, how much is Thibodeau owed? $30 million. What's going on? Come on, man. Damn. So that's J.R. Smith. That's his take. And, I just felt like they should have, if you wanted to get rid of Tibbs, you should have got rid of him last year. Because here's my thinking. If you were going to build a new team with trading Randall and getting rid of Dante, bringing in Towns, right? And honestly, I know the trade happened on media day, but they've been discussing that trade over the summer. So before you're going to make a major shakeup, why not just let him go then? But like, I think it was J-Tap in the chat said, or somebody in the chat, no, Fritz. Like Fritz said in the chat, Tibbs and Leon Rose recently this season weren't speaking. So I don't know, guys. I don't know, man. So there's more here, but I'm gonna talk about this really quick because Iman Shumpert said that he believes that Rick Brunson, he said it's time, right? They're going to put Rick Brunson in there. I think it's time. Go ahead and let Rick do it. He's the son. His son's already playing point guard. This is an interesting concept, but I will say whoever it is has to be the guy who has the respect of the locker room. Rick is a guy who would have the respect of the team. That's what Iman Shumpert said. I don't think that that's true because I have another report somewhere. I'm not going to look for it. That said that some people grew tired of the Rick Brunson's role as coach. Who are these people? I don't know. But these are all sources that are leaking information to the press. So I don't know if Rick Brunson's going to get that job. Now, does Brunson hold weight? Hey, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens, y'all. Let's see what happens. Let's see you guys talking about in the chat before I move on. Let's see. F is wisdom. I'll stop watching the Knicks if that happens. The biggest mistake Leon made was not firing him earlier. Yeah, we talked about that. FS wisdom. Crumbs that Fritz says he wants to call in. Let him call in. I don't got the call in line set up for this, and this is the pod. Fritz says it wasn't about results. He don't have soft skills for the modern player. Okay. I hear that. I think Spo can force his way out. He don't want nothing to do with Miami. I hear you. Why I hear you, F is wisdom. Is Eric Spoelstra a good coach? What has Eric Spoelstra done without LeBron and without D Wade? What has he done without those guys? Is he the answer? I know they went to the finals twice. A lot of injuries each time. I mean, I don't want to use it as an excuse, but I'm just saying, guys were hurt. It wasn't like, and then you seen what happened when they got to the. So saying that you know we got to the finals and I got you to the finals, to me that's not good enough. Is it, what are you happy to be the best second place team? You didn't win. So, oh yeah, we went to the finals means nothing to me. It really doesn't. Like in terms of, my point is that when you have the All NBA first teamer and the MVP, you're gonna win the championship. Period. Like that's just how it works. They all won. The only one that didn't win the championship yet is Luka, and he's gonna win a championship. So, you know, we talking about coaches and this, that, and the third. I mean, yeah, if you ain't got the right ingredients, you ain't gonna win. This is just what it is. And will Leon Rose get us the guys that we need to advance? Questions, you know, it's still early in the offseason. Let's see. Let's see how long this lasts. Let's see how this team does. I love the Knicks. I will always cheer for the Knicks, but I am the objective fan. I am not the objective stan. I don't believe everything that they do is good. I don't see it that way, right? I'm going to still support the team, but I don't believe that everything that we do is good. By the way, if you like any of my hats that you see to the left of me or to the right of me, depending on how the perspective is, all you have to do is go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com and you click on discounted official Knicks merch, and you will see a whole bunch of stuff here. And these are the discounted links to most of the hats you see that I got up here. So all you gotta do is go to discounted official Knicks merch or cool Knicks hats or anywhere on the merch section of the blog, and you will be able to see all this stuff, okay? For the record. So some free agency stuff I want to touch on, and then I'm going to get to the flagship topic, which is Giannis. Has that ship sailed? Yuri, stop trying to steal my thunder, man. I'm getting there, Yuri. I see you in the chat. So ranking the 22 assets the Knicks could use to build a contender. So we still got the Boston Celtics top 45 second round pick, which, let me see, 2028. Yeah, we'll probably keep that pick. So these are some of the things that we have at our disposal. Less favorable of 2028 Indiana second round picks, right? These are pick swaps, less favorable. So we got a bunch of second round picks, right? Whole bunch of second round picks. 2025, we got the Memphis Grizzlies pick number 50. It'll be interesting to see what they'll do with this. I could see them trying to move off the pick if they don't have a target there. But I could also see a world where they'll look to use the pick because, you know, we got Ariel Hukporti at number 55 or 58 or something like that. So you might get a serviceable player, you know, especially because this draft is pretty deep. So I'm curious to see what they do with that pick right there. Now, first round pick swaps are something that we could do. I had an article I was going to touch on that, but I'm just going to truncate time. We got like 3 first round swaps that we can do to yield assets too. So yeah, we don't got picks, but we could do pick swaps, which in some cases would be valuable to teams that are better than us, that has an asset that we would have. So right now, there's not too many teams that's better than us that would benefit from that, but you just never know in the future, right? You just never know what happens even in the offseason. Okay. Top 8 protected pick from the Wizards. Okay. Now, this pick is out of here, but this pick will turn into a pair of second rounds. Yeah, so if we don't get it, it'll turn into some second round picks. Okay. We got our own second round pick in 2027. So a lot of second round picks. And we know that the model right now is using second-round picks to build your team out. Then, of course, we got the players, right? Now, how realistic is it for the Knicks to this is the other pick swap, 2032. But how realistic is it for the Knicks to actually move off of one of our starters to gain some value in return, like a Josh Hart or Mikal Bridges? How realistic is that? Do we consider moving one of these guys to get 2 or 3 guys in return? I think that's the best way to build your bench. And I'm going to say this too. Yes, I know we need a new coach and everything could look different with a new coach. I'm starting to lean towards breaking up Wingstop. And the reason why I'm saying breaking up Wingstop is because, all right, we get a power forward or we go double big lineup. I think double big lineup's a mistake, but let's say new coach wants to go double big lineup. You got OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges at the 2-3. Looks great on paper. But in the real world, we seen it against the Pacers. When teams decide they want to press and trap, Mikal Bridges to me is not a great alternative ball handler at the 2 guard. I wasn't feeling the way he was looking against the Pacers. I really wasn't. I'm going to keep it real, guys. I wasn't really feeling it. I just was like, what are we doing? What are we doing? You know, it just didn't look right. It just didn't look right. I don't think that he's a good off-ball guard. I think he's really a small forward. So with Wingstop, you got 2 small forwards. OG can play the 4. He's been playing the 4, but he's really a small forward. Mikal Bridges definitely on the defensive end. He's a 2 guard and a small forward, but he's not a 2 guard on the offensive end. On the offensive end, he's a small forward. He's somebody that wants to create his own offense from 18 feet in. He could shoot the 3 ball, but that little mid-range post-ups, fadeaways, that's his game. So you need another guard on the floor. You also need a power forward. Quagmire. You need a power forward. You need a guard. Might be time to break up Wingstop. Maybe it's just not compatible. You need a DeJounte Murray-like guard that could defend point guards, that could also dribble and make plays. Mikal Bridges is not dribbling and making plays for others. He can do it for himself in the half court, but he's not doing it. I just don't see it. So it's either you get a power forward and now your ball handling suffers, and then you talk about Brunson dribble. Brunson going to have to dribble anymore because you don't got another guy that could take the ball out of his hands. At least Josh Hart, that's what Josh Hart was doing when Josh Hart was starting. I think it might be time to break up Wingstop. I don't know. Let's see. Of course, the bench, that's what this article is talking about here. Definitely got to build the bench, but I just gave a solution on the building the bench. I'm going to talk about Mikal's contract. So this is the details of Mikal Bridges' contract. And I agree with what Daily Knicks is saying. The extension could create a gigantic headache. You know, his max is 4 years, 156, which honestly, that's not a bad contract because as we get further along in this TV deal, those $100 million contracts for starters are going to look like bargains. Even OG Anunoby's contract is going to look like small fries compared to the new, super maxes and players getting $75 million a year. Is Leon Rose willing to give Mikal the entire 156? I don't know. What I do know, like I said last year with Julius Randle, I said, listen, that extension is not offered. That extension is not signed. You don't hear nothing about extension. Randle is out of here. I think the same would hold true for Mikal. If you don't hear any news of an extension, I expect him to be moved. And honestly, I think trading off a Wingstop, I think that could be a blessing in disguise. Depending on who your new coach is, what type of strategy you want to run. Do you want to go big? Do you want to go small? I don't know. But I know we need another ball handling guard. That I do know. So Mikal Bridges, you know, he's very quiet. Even last year, he set the tone where they asked him about his contract. He said, I let my agent handle that. I don't, that's not my thing. He kind of curves it. He and OG, to me, are the great political correctness in terms of dealing with media. You would never know how they feel. They don't give you nothing on the sound bites. They just very professional. They're doing it just to get it over with. So we don't know if Mikal's willing to take a team-friendly deal like Brunson. I don't know. But Leon Rose fired his best buddy, Tom Thibodeau. At this rate, anybody can go. Nick Switcher says, Mikal equals RJ with less stiffness. That's funny. By the way, if you just joined, this is the podcast. This week inside the Knicks, episode 1 of the 2025 off season. And I'm just running through a whole bunch of topics. We just talked about Mikal Bridges. What will happen if he doesn't sign his extension? We talked about the coaching search. We talked about Coach Tibbs being fired. A couple of more topics before I get the flag sheet. I'm going to get into the Giannis trade, why that shit may have sold. And that shit might have sold even before the ship has sailed. Carl, let me see. Oh, by the way, I'm going to do a special highlight here. I just dropped a short video. Go check it out. A Precious Achua story, right? I talked about Precious Achua 2 months ago being up out of here based off a conversation I had with somebody. I dropped that video yesterday. Go check it out. It's on the channel. But Precious Achua, they're starting to say he most likely will be gone. He won't return to the Knicks. Okay? So there you go. Maybe firing Tibbs could change it. I don't know. But I think Precious, I think he has a bag lined up somewhere. That's just what I think. KD, not happening. The Suns are not interested in Karl-Anthony Towns, which is crazy because they got Zubac and they've got Dunn. Okay. So Karl-Anthony Towns for KD, not happening. And honestly, any other trade for KD will be kind of hard to do because of the salary implications because the Suns are a second neighbor team. So it'll be very difficult for that to happen. Okay. Let me see. And also, you know what? I'm gonna save this. Let me save that. I'm gonna save that. So I'm gonna jump in the flagship now, man. Before I do that, I'm gonna read some of your chats, and I gotta make a couple of tweaks to the blog because I forgot to upload the comment of the week. But let me read some of your chats. If the Knicks extend Mikal, it won't be to back up OG. Nah, he ain't coming to the bench. That's why I said I think we should move off of Wingstop. Let me see. Fritz says there's not enough money to improve the team. They did him dirty 2 years in a row. Who you talking about? You talking about Brunson? Who they did 32 years in a row? New Lord Kessler for Towns. I do that. Towns, beef stew, DeAndre Hunter. Well, you can't do Kessler for Towns. It's not enough money. So that's not going to work. Crimes Dad, you did not get comment of the week, Crims Dad. Unfortunately, I'm sorry, brother. Yeah, you didn't get it. My bad. Oh, Precious. Oh, that's who you're talking about. Okay. Okay. Well, Fritz, there is money to sign Precious. That's not technically true because he has bird rights. We could just become a second neighbor team. Like if you really wanted him back, we really could do it. You just become a second neighbor team. Now, if you're saying that you don't want to become a second neighbor team just yet, then yeah, there's no money. But no, they got the money to do it. It's just a matter of, is he worthy enough of getting it? Is he worthy enough of getting it? Kessler for Towns is crazy. Yeah, that's crazy. That is crazy. That is crazy because it would have to be marketing and you would need a whole bunch of dudes to match salary Because even us as a first apron team, we're not allowed to take no exceptions. So we would have to match salary too. It's just that we could do more flexible things because in the first apron, you could get another team involved. So that makes it of the first apron teams, this is why they could easily do deals. Why am I in the wrong block? Hold on. Give me 2 seconds. Making some adjustments. I'm going to keep reading your chats while I do what I do. To improve depth, Knicks will be chance says to improve depth, either Mikal or OG got to go. Yes, one of the two got to go. I love having Wingstop. It's just that the way the team is structured, because you have two defensive liabilities, or rather two guys, I'm going to say two guys that are not strong defensively, right? Your center, Towns, he's not a great rim protector, and Brunson, he's not a really good on-the-ball defender. So now Bridges has to guard the point guard. And Bridges, to me, that's not his game. That's not his game. To me at least. I don't think that's his strong suit. I think Bridges' strong suit is guarding like 2s and 3s. For sure. 100%. 100%. Let's make sure this is here. Okay, cool. Got that loaded. New Law said RJ's better than Mikal. Like, seriously? He's a wannabe slasher, but doesn't like contact. Get that bum out of here. Ooh, that's a good question. Is RJ Barrett better than Bridges? That's a good question. Now, off the rip, one could argue that RJ is a better all-around scorer and Bridges is a better defender, right? One could argue that. But Bridges was averaging 26 when he got to the Nets. RJ can't get past 22 with the Raptors. He can't get past 22 points with the Raptors. I don't know. Okay. All right. Cool. So I made the change, made the tweak. Let's see. RJ remind me of Jaylen Brown. Yes, just without the defense. Without the defense. I think Jaylen Brown's a better defender than RJ. Keep Malone and KD, that old AF Achilles, away from the Knicks. Yeah, I don't want KD at all. The only way I would have took KD if I could have got rid of one of Wingstop. If I could just if I just had to trade OG or Mikal, and I probably would lean more so towards Mikal, I would consider doing the trade. But because I can't just trade Mikal, the salaries don't match up, yeah, I'm good. And honestly, I don't want to trade OG. Not for KD. So before I jump in the flagship, I do want to take the time to show you the shop. Shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com, where you can get some of the merch, man. We still rocking the Captain 11, man. Look, we still rocking with Captain 11, man. Nobody's getting traded, right? We coming back with the same team, so more than likely Jalen Brunson and Towns will be here. So the merch to honor those two still live. We got the Bodega Cat mug. Waiting on this to come in the mail. This is fire. Everybody loves the mugs, by the way. I have the black Captain 11 mug. Everybody loves this. This is the best seller right here. This is the white Captain 11 right here. Everybody loves this. It's fire. Go check it out right now. Shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. Also, even though I got on a hoodie because it was a little cool. It's a little cool. Yeah, we're not fully in summer yet, so I'm still rocking my hoodies a little bit until we really get into summertime. But we also got the Captain 11 t-shirts as well, right? So we got it in black, white. We got it in this is the black Captain 11, right? We also got the Bodega Cat in black as well. We also got it in they call it natural, the natural color, and we also got it in white, okay? Waiting on this to come in the mail too. So Support the shop, shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. You can find this by going to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com and clicking on shop, shop.theobjectiveknicksfan.com. They all take you to the same place, right? So, yeah, we still rocking with Captain 11. We still rocking with the big bodega. They're still here, so we're going to still rock. Let me jump in the flagship, all right? Now, we're going to talk about Giannis. So, the initial trade package for Giannis that everybody was hoping for was this trade right here. Now, the beauty of the Giannis trade over the KD trade is that the Bucks are not an apron team at all. So the Bucks have complete flexibility to do whatever the hell they want. We are a first apron team. We have restrictions too, but we can add, multiple salaries to match salaries, right? So you could just get rid of Wingstop altogether, OG Anunoby and Mikal Bridges for Giannis and Pat Connaughton, right? And then you'll get 2021, give up your picks, some of the assets we talked about earlier, right? For Giannis. And I don't think Milwaukee would go for that, right? I don't think Milwaukee will go for that. So for me, right? For me, my motto is anyone can go, but not everyone. Okay? So whether that's Big Bodega, Cat, anyone, right? So that's a sample trade package that I think a lot of Knicks fans wouldn't mind. Another thing too, Jason Kidd, right? Jason Kidd, as pointed out in Daily Knicks, he would be the path to get Giannis. Kidd coached Antetokounmpo between 2014 and 2018. During that time, he helped the number 15 pick in the number 15 pick. Yo, it's crazy how SGA was 10th pick or something like that. Giannis was a 13th pick. Jokic was a second round pick. Yo, we really got to do a better job in the draft, man. It's no excuse that the Knicks we could go 50 years without an MVP. 30 plus years without getting a Ewing caliber player out the draft. It's a shame. This is why these teams are winning. And Ewing was a first pick. That was a slam dunk. That wasn't like the Giannis pick or the Jokic pick where you really had to do homework and investigate. We got to get it together, man. I mean, it's crazy to me. Anyway, so he helped Giannis development, right? So Daily Knicks is proposing that getting Jason Kidd is important because it could help sway Giannis. And maybe now he really pushes for the trade because we don't have no evidence of Giannis pushing for a trade. We did get reports that Giannis was open to looking into different scenarios, but there was never one scenario that he preferred. Now, we also had the quotes from Giannis where he said that he would like to have Euros in big markets. So this was another thing that kind of, drove a lot of people to thinking that, hey, maybe there's a world where Giannis would come to the Knicks. But, of course, the Knicks, we always get the short end of the stick because the latest report came out that there was skepticism about Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek Freak, that he will probably not request a trade. Okay? Around the combine 2 weeks ago, there was no shortage of optimism, hope, and excitement from other teams that they were going to be able to make a potential offer for Giannis Antetokounmpo into their franchise, into their building. Of late, I'd say that the confidence has been replaced with skepticism. To a man from talking to agents, team executives, whoever, there is not a belief right now at this juncture, which could change. The expectation is that they're going to believe it when they see it. That someone who has value, being the franchise face, that the central linchpin of the Bucks franchise is going to want to go somewhere else. So Giannis likely right now, and this could change. Maybe if the Knicks somehow get Jason Kidd, maybe they put it out there that, hey, Giannis, Got your coach, man. Wouldn't you like to be in a big market playing for your coach? We'll make you the biggest star in NBA history. Literally, if we got Giannis Antetokounmpo, he would be the best Knick all time. Not as accolades in the Knick jersey. I'm talking about when you look at a guy who was with the Knicks and their accomplishment, like if you just took all of their career accomplishment and the fact that they played for your franchise in their prime, Giannis clearly will be better than all of them instantly. We've never had a player this good in our entire franchise. Salute to Willis Reed. Love him. I love Walt Clyde. I love those guys. I did my homework and my research on those teams from the 70s. I was not around then. Amazing group of guys. We've never seen this before. We've never had a superstar on this level, a world-renowned phenomenon. We've never had in our franchise history a player that could make 7 straight All-NBA first teams, and he's not done. This brother right here is why I say I'm trading anyone, but not everyone, because I don't think that's what's needed. But anyone can go in the Giannis trade. But unfortunately, it's looking like he can stay. There's been reports talking about Damian Lillard and his recovery, how he's making really good progress. Not that he's going to be back this season, but there's a lot of optimism surrounding Dame Lillard and his recovery from his, I think he had the Achilles. So I don't know. It's not looking good right now. And then you add to the fact that there are other teams. The Lakers, never count out the Lakers. The Celtics, even though it would be very difficult for them to do a trade because they wouldn't be able to match salaries. So they couldn't do Brown and White for Giannis. They couldn't do it because they're a second even team. You can't combine salaries to match salaries. So that's another good reason for Leon Rose to keep us clear under the second apron. But at the same time, there are other teams like OKC. Let's say they get upset in the finals. Hey, let's just make sure we definitely win. Let's get Giannis. I mean, Houston, there's teams that have young players and picks that can get Giannis. So we would definitely be amongst the teams in the back, asset-wise, not counting players. Now, we have star players that are valuable, but the question would be, does Giannis demand coming to New York? See, Giannis holds weight. I love Captain. JB doesn't hold weight. Giannis holds weight. If that brother says, I want to come to New York, you better believe Leon Rose is getting him here. It don't matter what the package is. Giannis has to want to come here. So that's why this report was really important, because it's looking like Giannis doesn't have a desire to leave. So what are we going to do? Are we going to force Giannis to come here? Can't do it. He loves Milwaukee. He's a loyal guy. That's one thing I will say about Giannis. Very loyal guy. My only thing is, you don't know what, loyalty really doesn't get you anything in today's NBA. It really doesn't. Most of the time, you get the shaft at the end. Look at Kobe's relationship with the Lakers towards the end. Nasty. They were trying to trade Kobe. They were trying to get rid of Kobe. But maybe Tim Duncan had a great relationship from what we know. I don't know. But could there have been things there? So, it's not looking right, folks. It's not looking good. It's not looking good. FS Wisdom, choosing Knox over SGA. Oh, my God. I don't want to think about that. Knicks will be champ says not loyalty. Stars realize they'll get $80 million more to stay on their team. LeBron James, to me, is the blueprint for stars leaving franchises. And when you get to that LeBron James level, team salary players, like LeBron literally could do this summer, yo, just give me 30 million so we could go get another star. Like it becomes a point where you have so much of hundreds of millions of dollars that those dollars don't really matter. You seen it with Brunson. Brunson sacrificed $160 million. $160 million. And he will never earn anywhere near the amount of money that Giannis earns from basketball. You know, Brunson could start a business later and become a super billionaire. I don't know. I'm not going to put Brunson down. I'm just talking about from basketball, he will never earn what Giannis earns. It will never happen. So if Brunson can do it, Giannis, listen, $80 million. You talking about billionaire. All these guys going to be billionaires. $80 million, yeah, I hear you Knicks will be champs. That is, yeah, that rule may have mattered like in the early 2000s. These guys are getting too much money. Like, the money these guys get is insane. Like, it's ridiculous. $80 million don't hit hard for stars as much as it does for the average guys. I want the Sports Junkie. Salute to the Sports Junkie. And thank you for subscribing. I actually saw the pop-up this time. He says, I want both Bridges and Towns out of here. Damn. Okay. I want Giannis. I'm going to keep it real. Giannis not calling Brunson Cap. Move on, Knicks fans. Giannis not coming here. Yeah, I agree, New Lord. You know why? You know why he's not coming here, New Lord? Because the Knicks, we never get players of that caliber. We never do. We got Ewing was the only one. Ewing, and we got lucky because the league, there's no cheat codes. We got lucky to get Ewing. If we didn't get Ewing, the Knicks would never get an All-NBA first teamer. Ewing is the only first teamer we had. Uh-oh. Sports Junkie, be careful with the picks wasted. They don't like the picks wasted on Mikal Bridges. I do feel like not having those picks hurts the Giannis trade. I think it would be really great to have those picks going into a Giannis trade, right? But we don't got it. Hotline Bling is a good song. We need depth. Trade 2 for 1. But for Giannis, I don't get it. Let me just say this to you, Hotline Bling, and I'm going to move on. The value in trading for Giannis is, and I did this, I went back 44 years. You only have one team that's won a championship without having an MVP caliber player or All-NBA first teamer. The reason why everyone is going crazy for Giannis is because he's the only All-NBA first teamer that's available. No other first teamer is available. No, Donovan Mitchell, I don't think he's going nowhere, but I wouldn't trade the farm for Donovan Mitchell. I'm going to keep it real. Jokic is not going anywhere. Jason Tatum, he got the Achilles. More than likely, he's not going anywhere. SGA for damn sure ain't going nowhere. So he's the only NBA first teamer that's available. That's what's needed to win a championship. So you could talk about depth and we need depth. Listen, y'all are so confident that this Knicks team could win a championship, especially since Tibbs is gone. I want to see them do it without getting a major upgrade on this roster. Did some of you guys think that maybe the roster is just not it? Maybe it's just not it. I don't know. I'm going to move on. I'm going to jump into the comment of the week. So, salute to you, Tendrell. If you in the building, Tendrell, I was in the Discord server. Salute to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord. I was in the Discord server looking for some comments, right? Because I didn't have a comment of the week. I forgot. So I saw this. Someone should make I Survived the Tibbs Era t-shirt. like they have for all thrill rides at theme parks. Be sure to stop by the kiosk and pick up your commemorative photo of yourself screaming. How many of you guys agree with this statement? How many of you guys agree with this statement? Did we survive the Tibbs era? We speak about surviving Coach Tibbs like it was this era before it. You know what? I do you one better. I'll do you one better. We act like Coach Tibbs. I don't understand Knicks fans. I really don't. I don't. Salute to Tendril. I love you, Tendril, but listen, this is the comment of the week. So, 2021, Coach Thibodeau comes. The first time we had a plus 500 record in like 8 years. In 8 years. When Coach Thibodeau hired, it's the first time we had a plus 500 record in 8 years. So we survived Coach Tibbs. Oh my God, Coach Tibbs is the worst. But we forget about 2013-14, 37 wins right after we went to the second round. 37-45. Salute to the great Mike Woodson. I love Mike Woodson. He was fire. We won 37 games. Then Phil Jackson comes. Oh, we gotta get rid of Woodson. We're not gonna bring him back. We want to run triangle offense. 17 wins, 32 wins, 31 wins, 29 wins. So where is the I survive? Hold on. Where is the hold on. Where was he at? Where is the I survive Phil Jackson era t-shirt? Where was that? Why we don't got those t-shirts? I think those t-shirts should be the better seller than Tibbs. I survived Coach Tibbs era. It was so worse. Oh my God, Coach Tibbs was one of the worst coaches that I ever seen that we had. The era was so bad. When he first got here, we only won 41 games out of 72. Then we had a down. Then we had a down year because Leon Rose. I'm gonna get to Leon Rose in a second. He decides to bring Kemba Walker here. Okay, then we win 47 games. Oh my God, it's so terrible. 50 wins, 51 wins. The Coach Tibbs era is the worst. We'll survive what? What are we talking about, Tendril? I love you, Tendril. But what are you talking about? Did we forget? It's so funny. Like, it's like, I know, I get it. Fans are just in the moment. Y'all don't see the big picture. Y'all don't. Y'all don't remember conveniently 37 wins, 17, 32, 31, 29, 17. Y'all don't remember that. Y'all don't remember the Phil Jackson era. I can't say a coach because they didn't last long. Derek Fisher, 1.5 years. Jeff Hornacek, 2 years, but he was out of there. Dave Fizdale, 1.5 years. What are we talking about? Now we're surviving the Coach Thibodeau era? He's part of the reason why he and Leon Rose, why you are there. Yo, Tendril, I see you, Tendril. Come on, don't come on, man. Just go with it. He said, Tendril says I'm joking. I see you, Tendril. Come on, I needed content, Tendril. You messed it up. He said he was joking. I know he's joking, but there was other people that actually was co-signing his thought. Mike from Harlem, the PA. Yeah, you was going in the Discord. Tendril says, who are the players? Man, yo, Tendril, I don't even know who the players was doing. I'm sorry, if it's wisdom, he asked who was the players doing that. Yo, honestly, I don't even remember, man. I know we got KP and yeah, that's all I remember. Hold on, look at this. 2018, in his freedom, he had the top win shares. Mitchell Robinson had the top win shares. You know it's bad when Mitchell Robinson is leading your team in win shares. Salute to Mitchell Robinson. No, not going Mitchell Robinson, but he's not a team. He's not a guy that wins in win shares. But yeah, salute to you, Tendril. I needed that for the comment of the week, man, because I didn't have one. Oh man. Salute to Coach. Mixtape Madness Discord server channel member, man. What's up, coach? I have never been a Tom fan, but he helped take us out from the dirt. Yeah, facts. Tendro was just joking. I just needed it for content. Let me move forward. Let me get up out of there. All right. Now, this is going to be the segment of the show. Okay. Expect this clip to come out tomorrow. Get your popcorn. You should throw your popcorn emojis in the chat. Okay. This smoke of the week. Okay. This is one of my most important smokes of the week. Okay. Dog growls. Last week, I did one for the Knicks. You know what? I might drop that. I might have to put that clip out because it's still kind of relevant. I just might have to change the title. This week, smoke of the week is for Leon Rose. Yes, Leon Rose. I'm coming for you, Leon Rose. Salute to Leon Rose. I love Leon Rose. But when I say that I'm coming for Leon Rose, I'm really holding him to what he said. He said that our singular focus is to win an NBA championship. That's what he said. I don't want to hear nothing else. Don't want to hear nothing else, Mr. Leon Rose. I've been supporting you. I dropped clips. Leon Rose should be GM of the year. I was there. I did that. I'm the objective fan. I am not the objective delusional fan. I'm not the delusional fan. I'm not the Leon Rose fan. I'm not the Coach Thibodeau fan. I'm not the Jalen Brunson fan. I'm not the Big Bodega Cat fan. I'm a Knicks fan. And anyone can go. Anyone. Let that sink in and register. Anyone can go, not everyone. So people thought I was upset about Coach Tibbs being fired because I'm like, damn, Coach Tibbs is my guy. No. I'm going to show you why I was upset about Coach Tibbs being fired. The smoke of the week, if this didn't happen, Brendan Prodzinski threw a shot. I could have went at Brendan Prodzinski. He said that, the Knicks would have got swept in the finals. Nah, we lost. So I'm not defending a bunch of losers. We lost. So, when you lose, that's when you get all the smack talk and it's justified. But this brother right here, I'm not going to go as far as him, but Stephen A. Smith, he called Leon Rose a coward for Tom Thibodeau's statement. I'm not going that far. I don't think Leon Rose is a coward. I don't care whether or not Leon Rose speaks to the media, to the press. All y'all do is twist words and write, and y'all just want clicks. Y'all just want stupid stuff for clicks and views anyway. So I don't care that he doesn't speak to you guys. I want to win a championship. That's where my focus is. I don't care that he doesn't want to talk to you, Stephen A. Smith. I don't really care, right? He says, I think we as New Yorkers should find Leon Rose's statement offensive. Get the hell in front of a microphone and camera and answer questions. Stop being a coward. That's how he's been acting as president for the New York Knicks when it comes to communicating with the media and articulating the decisions that you make and why they are being made. Okay. He said, singly focused on winning a championship for our fans. That's what Rose said. Okay. I don't care about the damn statement. I want to see Leon Rose stand in front of the camera. Okay, so he's upset that Leon Rose won't stand in front of the camera. And it's funny, too, like Stephen A. Smith was talking about, oh, man, it's wrong that he fired Thibodeau when Stephen A. Smith said that Thibodeau should have been fired 3 years ago, 3 years ago. He'd been calling for Tibbs' head. He didn't think Tibbs was the guy for the job, so now you want to be upset that Coach Tibbs got fired. If anything, I'm the one that said I think Coach Tibbs is a good coach. I thought Coach Tibbs could take us to the promised land. Is it really Coach Tibbs' fault that Leon Rose changes up the team every year? How you expect me to build continuity? All this crap about, oh, yeah, we're building. How you going to build when you got key starters and all-stars being traded every single year? How do you build on that? It was Randall and RJ. Didn't you move RJ for OG? Didn't you move Randall for Towns? Now we talking about Wingstop. Now Wingstop might get broken up. Well, it don't matter now because it's a new coach. I'm just saying, every single year, Tibbs did not get the opportunity to run it back with the same team. Like, perfect example. 2024 playoffs. We all had this vision that, damn, this team, if they were healthy, how good they would be. We never got the chance to see the vision because Leon Rose traded them. You never really got the chance to see if Tibbs would have made us like the Cavaliers last year. Because Leon Rose, he moved everybody. Now, once again, anybody can go. I'm not here to save players, and I want the Knicks to win. Let that register, New York City. I don't care about players. Anyone could, when I say that, anyone could go because everyone's going to make the decision that's best for themselves. Only Jalen Brunson is the only one who's thinking about everybody else. I think it's time that Brunson starts thinking about himself. I really do. Because everybody else is thinking about themselves. Nobody's thinking about nobody else. Everybody is worried about their own self-interest. So while I'm not going as far as Stephen A. Smith, I do think that Leon Rose, the heat is up and the clock is ticking. I'm not giving you a reset because you got a new coach. You've been here for 5 years. What have we done in this time? Okay, we went to the Eastern Conference Finals, multiple 50-win seasons. Is it a championship? No. Does firing Coach Tibbs bring us closer to the championship? I don't know. I hope so. But I'm going to say this. The last time we seen a coach get fired consecutively after having 2 50-win seasons, there's only been 2 in the history of the NBA. It's Coach Tibbs and George Karl. A lot of people don't like George Karl. A lot of people thought that George Karl was bad, right? A lot of former players speak out about George Karl. But what happened after George Karl left the Seattle Sonics? They fell off the map. So y'all guys in the chat that's like, yeah, Coach Tibbs, we fired Coach Tibbs, woo, woo, let's win a championship. See, I value history because history repeats itself. Like, aberrations and anomalies is 1 out of 100. You build on a foundation, and history gives you that foundation. So anytime you're trying to defy the odds and you're trying to do something that no one else has done before, you're going to find yourself just being in second place. Oh, yeah, at least we made the Eastern Conference Finals. Oh, yeah, we made it to the finals, but we didn't win, but we made it to the finals. That's not okay for me. You know why? Because Leon Rose, dog growls. He said that our singular focus is a championship. So guess what? And I'm going to give you my early pick. I don't need to see no roster moves. Knicks is winning the championship next season. I said it. You know why? Because Leon Rose said that this is our singular focus, and we fired Coach Tibbs because he's not going to get us there. Okay, cool. But I'm going to tell you something. When George Karl, who had the 2 50-win seasons, right, multiple 50-win seasons, and he got fired, the Seattle Supersonics disappeared. They vanished. They didn't do nothing. They fell into mediocrity. They were one of the best teams in the West under George Karl. Soon as they let him go, out of here. Same thing with the Denver Nuggets. The Denver Nuggets got lucky they got Jokic after they got rid of George Karl. Jokic was a second-round pick. That's luck. That's an aberration. The Nuggets would still be trashed to this day had they not got Jokic. They got lucky to get Jokic with the 42nd pick, whatever pick he was in the second round. So when you fire the coach, 2 different teams, 50-win seasons, George Karl shows you that it's a failure. I go by history. What happened to the teams after Coach Thibodeau's left those teams? What about the teams that he left? What happened to Chicago after Tibbs left Chicago? Oh, yeah, they went to no, Chicago's still trash to this day. What about the Minnesota Timberwolves? If the Minnesota Timberwolves did not draft Ant-Man, they'd be trash. Period. Ant-Man saved them. Towns would have been out. Ant-Man saved the Timberwolves. So, Leon Rose, listen, man, I love Leon Rose. I'm going to give a New York City salute to Leon Rose. He's done a great job. But now that you fired Coach Tibbs and you put out the statement, I want to see championship. I am not settling for nothing less. If Giannis comes out tomorrow and says, I want to get traded, you better get Giannis. And I don't give a damn who you got to trade to get Giannis. I don't give a damn about death. I don't give a... Listen, the Lakers is about to show you guys how to win a championship. In real time, going forward, we're going to monitor just a quick overview of the Lakers going forward. The Lakers are showing you how to win a championship. Austin Reeves and all those guys going to be out of there. Their goal was to, one, secure the star first. Every 5 to 10 years, they get top 75 player, all-NBA first teamer, multiple. Luka Doncic had 5 in a row. He's not even, 26, 25? He had 5 in a row. He's not even 25, 26, 27. Think about that. They got another 6 years of a dude, 26, that's going to be in his prime. And guess what? They're not going to stop there. They're going to get another star player. New York, we don't do that. We want to get second-rate stars. We want to get guys that's on the second team, and they might got a couple of all-stars. And then, we're going to put a nice little team around them so we could be second place. Oh, go get another Rick Carlisle. Like there's many Rick Carlisle. He's one of the greatest coaches in NBA history. He's up there. When you look at his stats, he's one of the best coaches in NBA history, period, hands down. You're not going to just find that. It's not on. And then even if you find that, New York, y'all going to tear him down before they could even blossom and get there. Then y'all going to tear them down before he could get there. Johnny Bryant better stay clear of New York City. I repeat, Johnny Bryant, don't come to New York. Please don't. It's going to be a nightmare. And it's not to say that he can't be a great coach. This market, you gotta be a shark to be here. You gotta be somebody with tough skin that's a professional that's been around the block. Bringing a fresh coach here is gonna be a mistake. So if Leon Rose think he's gonna tell me I'm gonna bring Joe Bryant or some other young guy who's never coached before and I'm gonna be happy, knowing that in history you don't have that. I'm the objective fan. I've been very optimistic, y'all. There's pause to concern here. Look at this. Coach Thibodeau. He has 79 more regular season wins than New York's previous 5 head coaches combined. Let that sink in. That means that you add up the previous 5 coaches we had, and you still don't got enough wins. You still need 79 more wins to reach where Coach Tibbs had us. Listen, man, they going to get the smoke, man. They going to get the smoke. And Dolan doesn't get the smoke because this is all on Leon Rose. Dolan just signs off. He signs the checks, right? Then look at this. Here's another thing that I don't like. And this is from Mike Vorkunov. Don't know that it's a total shot that the Knicks fired Tom Thibodeau. There had been word in league circles that his job was in peril heading into the playoffs. The Celtics win might have helped him, but he took a hit in the Eastern Conference Final. Who Knicks hired next will be fascinating. The Rose front office has been smart. So listen, y'all, the pressure's on. The pressure's on. Then I don't like moving the goalposts. Oh, well, if you get past the Celtics, your job is safe. You get past the Celtics, then you find a reason and fault because he lost to the Pacers. So now, you beat the Celtics and we built the team to beat Boston. And so you accomplished our mission to crush our enemy totally, which we did. And I got an unfiltered thought on that to all the channel members. Go check that out. We built this team to beat Boston. We beat Boston, and you still fired a coach. So now that Coach Tibbs is gone, who will you blame? Who will be the scapegoat? Who will be the scapegoat? Knicks don't win the championship 25-26. Or we going to say his injuries? What is it going to be? Who gets the blame? I think now we have to realize that whatever future issues present themselves with this Knicks team, Leon Rose, he deserves the brunt of the smoke and fire. That's my smoke of the week, man. Dog growls. Let's see. He had that in Chicago. He still couldn't do it. You talking about the MVP and All NBA first teamer? I never said that everyone on the first team wins. That's not how history works. History does not say everyone who's an All NBA first team is going to win the championship. No, what history says is that in order to win the championship, you need an All NBA first teamer or MVP in their prime. Not Derrick Rose into the hill on the bench. Not Amari Stoudemire, who was on the decline. No, it's first teamer prime. Giannis Antetokounmpo fits that. So, and there's a lot of other factors. Health came into play. D Rose had injuries. I don't think the Bulls team was all that great to win the championship. I don't think they were the best team during those times, right? Who was there? You had Miami. Boston was ending. I think maybe if Rose wouldn't have got hurt and they were able to like restructure and rebuild around him, maybe. But it is what it is. I think Coach Tibbs today is a better coach than he was yesterday. You know, so it is what it is. Listen, the problem is Tibbs wasn't the guy, and Leon, ever since he been here, pulled the right button. Well, he's changed the team on him, though. What are you talking about? So you changing the team on me before I could build chemistry with the guys that I had. Every year, Leon Rose is changing. And I'm not talking about one move. I'm talking about R.J. Barrett, who was the second and third option. You trade him, get rid of him. Then you get rid of Randall, second option, right? Alfred Payton was your point guard. You bring in Kemba Walker, right? The team drastically changed. Drastically changed. The team wasn't the same. It wasn't the same team. I would have loved to see, and maybe I need to do the unfiltered thought on that. 2024 Knicks. What would it be? Okay. I'm going to do an unfiltered thought on that. But we would have never known. We never got to know what the four Nova boys would look like. We never got to see what that 24 team would have did in 25. Leon Rose, he broke it up. Salute to Lucky Visions. I'd rather have Johnny Bryan over Jason Kidd. I strongly disagree. I think Johnny Bryan is wrong for New York. Now, Johnny Bryan in Indiana, Johnny Bryan in Minnesota, Johnny Bryan in Phoenix, Johnny Bryan anywhere outside of LA, New York, and Boston, I think he would be fantastic. New York, Lakers, Boston, no. Because we're trying to win championships. You ain't got no time to build now. You don't got 5 years. I'm not giving Leon Rose another 5 years. Tibbs is one of the best coaches. Hold on. Tibbs is one of the best coaches that doesn't have a championship. He's among the best coaches that didn't win a championship. Let me see if I can find it. It's here somewhere. I don't know where I put it. Wasn't really prepared to talk about that. Only thing you could say about Coach Tibbs is he has a sub 500 playoff record. That's the only knock on Tibbs. But most coaches have sub 500 playoff records. So it's not like you trying to single out Coach Tibbs like he's the only one. Most coaches do not perform well in the playoffs. You can only have one winner. Even if you didn't get none of those guys that got traded are MVPs, the first teamers, so your logic wouldn't have affected the result. You talking about in Chicago? No. My point that I'm saying is that Tibbs didn't get a fair shake. No, I'm not saying they would have won a championship. I'm saying that he didn't get a chance to build anything in New York because the teams were drastically different every year. Every other year was a new team. That's my point. I'm not saying that they would have won a championship. He got out-coached in every playoffs. How is he not the issue? Every coach get out-coached in the playoffs. Name a coach that didn't get out-coached in the playoffs. Every coach gets out-coached in the playoffs. Did you see what Mark Dugno did in game 1? Did you see the difference that he made in game 2? Yes, he made the right adjustment. But did you see what he did in game 1? Every coach gets out-coached. What are you talking about? Bro, he signed off on those trades. You acting like Coach Tibbs had a say-so in front office. Of course he's going to say he signed up, but I tell you one trade that was rumored that he might have said yes to do, but he wasn't feeling was that Cam Reddish trade. So, I mean, he's your boss. If you at work, are you 100% honest with your boss? We have quotes from Tibbs asking for a backcourt. Whose fault is it that he didn't get a backcourt? I'm just saying, like, now, all of the criticism falls on Leon Rose. All of that smoke we had, all of that smoke that we had for Thibodeau, it gets transferred to Leon Rose. I'm going to move forward, though. Let me get into the word on the street. Oh, I clicked on the wrong thing. Oh, why is this here? So I'm getting into word on the street, then we're going to wrap up. And so before I get to word on the street, I do, because I mentioned joining the channel before. When you join the channel, you get access to the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server, which is a closed server for members where we have 24/7 Knicks talk. I mean, we get it in. Like, you see some of these people, you see with them stars, they in the Discord server. We gets it in every day, okay? Tendril wants to play around, talking about surviving Coach Tibbs. That became the comment of the week. We have listen, the Knicks Tape Madness Discord server is always full of excitement. It's a great way to extend the conversation with me outside of YouTube, right? So we don't only talk about the Knicks, though. We mostly talk about the Knicks, but we talk about the NBA. We talk about all sports. And we also talk about, like, boxing. I mean, we talk about everything, okay? So if you want to extend the conversation with me, joining the channel is the only way to get access to the Discord server. I don't do the free-for-all Discord for everyone to get in there. Too many trolls, too much to micromanage. People want to fight and argue. No, I like having the community of supporters that really have. And also, a lot of my people, like Knicks Will Be Chance 25, 26, Tendril, all of them, J-Tap, Mike, they all got good, like, they all make great commentary. Like, they all have great perspective, points of views. We don't always agree. And that's when it really gets exciting. But, you know, it's just a great place to talk Knicks and talk sports, right? So that's one of the things you get when you sign up. It's not the only thing you get when you sign up. This is not you join in the channel and it's just a donation, right? You actually get stuff when you join. So we also got the members only live chats, which I owe you guys one. I'm going to try to do one Wednesday. Don't know what I'm going to be talking about yet, but look out for that. I'll let you guys know when I do it. I was doing members only lives, but I kind of was focused more on the members only live chats because sometimes I'm laser focused, especially when I do my 10 keys, like when I did the 10 reasons why we'll beat the Boston Celtics. I want to just go in and rock, kind of like how I'm doing right now. But the comments kind of, slow me down, so I limit it to the members only. Of course, members always get priority reply to comments, whether it's on lives, whether it's on, different surveys that I drop in the community section. I drop content every single day, videos, surveys. I mean, everything. I drop a lot. So sometimes people, they leave comments. So I make sure I get to my channel members when they leave those comments. Also, I have the Unfiltered Thought series, which is a series where I just normally at 3 o'clock in the morning, I might have a thought on my mind and I just record content. And, it's sometimes it gets a little dicey. Sometimes it's just things that I just don't want to say on the regular YouTube. I make it an unfiltered thought. Like the last unfiltered thought was Jalen Brunson holds no weight. I love Captain. He's my man. But Jalen Brunson holds no weight. So I talked about that on the last unfiltered thought. I also did a 48 laws of power. One of the laws is crush your enemies totally. So I did a video on how we did that to Boston. Go definitely check that out. When you become a member, you get access to watch all of this content. It's a lot of members only content on there. I'm continually to drop more members only content. I'm outside. I was outside yesterday, so I have some of my basketball, footage up there when I played in tournaments, things of that nature. I'm gonna be doing lives from the park as well. That's coming. I'm really working on my game. I'm like 60 to 70% back because I had like a long layoff since I played last. So I want to make sure before I go on camera, I'm not a complete bum. So yeah, so that's some things that's coming as well. And I'm gonna be dropping more members only content. There's more stuff I want to do to expand the membership as we continue to grow. Members always get shouted out, of course. I always look for my members. And of course, discount on the merch. So right now I got the Big Bodega Cat shirt right here. So members get a discount on all of the merch, right? So I'm getting the word on the street and we're gonna get up out of here because I've been on here for too long. So, all right, cool. So look, this is the letter, by the way, from Leon Rose. Our singular goal is to win the championship. Okay. Well, us as fans, we have to hold Leon Rose to that standard. He don't get to skate around and, it's going to take another 2 years. No, sir. You said our singular focus. So I expect this offseason to bring us closer to that goal. Anyway, with the offseason moves underway, Shans indicated that the Knicks front office will be active this summer. What move would effectively enhance the roster for next season? And I'm going to put trade for another Giannis or another star. 55% agree with me. Out of the 377 votes, 55% believe trading for Giannis or another star is the way to effectively enhance this roster. 24% say sign or trade for a six-man. And 18% say get another starter to replace Hart. And 3% said others. So that's the poll. By the way, you could go vote on these polls, right? Because most of the time I do evergreen content on these surveys. So I'm going to move to the next one. Did the Knicks make the right decision by firing Coach Tibbs? 418 votes. I'm going to say no. And the reason why I'm saying no is because I felt like if you want to fire him, you should have did it sooner. And I felt like you should at least give him another year. So I'm going to say no. 419 votes. 23% say no. 64% say yes. So I know a lot of y'all guys were a part of the anti-Coach Tibbs hive, or you joined the anti-Coach Tibbs hive once Coach Tibbs was out of here. So y'all standing strong on it was the right move. 13% say, I don't know. Okay, let me keep it moving. What type of coach should the Knicks hire for the upcoming season? Ooh, a rookie coach, veteran coach, or it doesn't make a difference? I'm going to say a veteran coach. So out of the 319 votes, 50% said a veteran coach. I agree. I think that putting a rookie fresh face in here, he going to get tuned. I mean, you guys are ruthless. All right? You Knicks fans are ruthless. So I could only imagine media, fans going crazy. It's just not going to be a good look. Right? And the pressure that Leon Rose put forth in terms of saying that our singular focus is to win a championship. So you come in as a new coach and you win 47 games and we are fifth seed, that's not going to look right. Right? Unless you somehow get us to the finals like Indiana, which, I mean, that's going to be very difficult to do. So 50% say a veteran coach. 40% said a rookie coach. Okay. 40% say a rookie coach. 11% say it doesn't make a difference. I agree with that. It doesn't make a difference if you get Giannis. Okay, you get that star player. It don't matter who your coach is. Okay, don't matter who your coach is. All right, did the Knicks overachieve during the 2024-25 season and playoffs? I dropped this morning, 194 votes. I'm going to say no. They are what their record says. Actually, I got a good article I just released on the thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. It talks about overachieving. I debunked the whole overachieving narrative. I might even do a video on that too. The Knicks did not overachieve, nor did they underachieve, right? I'm a firm believer in you are what your record is. So if you get to the finals, Indiana, you are the best team in the East this year. It is what it is. I don't care about, well, on paper and this person to get hurt. No, you are what your record is. The Indiana Pacers have been the most impressive team in the Eastern Conference this season, right? When you add regular season and playoffs, if you just want to look at regular season, then you would say the regular season champions, the Cleveland Cavaliers, not to be confused with the in-season tournament. You would say that that team was the best team. No, the Indiana Pacers, they got to the finals, right? They're the Eastern Conference champions, right? Not the regular season champions. They're the best team, period. We lost straight up. No excuses. And you are what your record says. So we are the second best team in the East. We made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. We beat the defending champion Boston Celtics. Still was not good enough. You did not overachieve. Boston, to me, flawed system. Yes, I respect them as champions, but you don't win. You can't continue to win by living and dying by the three ball. That's what happened to Boston. They literally died by the three. So, Crimes Dad, you said, thanks, Tibbs. Underachievers. Okay. Overachievers. Okay. I debunked that. If y'all want to check that out, go to thisweekinsidetheknicks.com. I dropped the article on there. All my smoke has been aimed at Leon Rose ever since he made that Evans Fournier trade. Okay. And you know what? That's a fair place to be because that Evan Fournier signing, he didn't trade for him. He signed him. That was definitely something to consider. Do Rose cater to Tibbs and bought all the players he wanted? I don't think so. I don't think he bought all the players he wanted. I know for a fact that he didn't want Cam Reddish, right? I'm pretty sure he didn't want Obi Toppin, though I do understand the logic of Obi Toppin. Y'all didn't believe in Randall, so y'all thought that, get Obi and Randall be out of here, but Randall, he turned his game up to another level. I kind of half get that, but it is what it is. I don't know if that's what he wanted. Tendra said comment of the week, MFers, salute. Tiff said Gante wasn't the guy that needed to be traded. There you go. There you go. I don't know if he said that. I don't remember Tiff saying that, but or maybe he said that like, oh yeah, I didn't want Dante to be good to go, but it wasn't like, oh yeah, this guy should have went. It was like just media talk. Tibby to Washington. Tom Wizardo. Okay. That was funny. That was funny, Tendril. He literally told Rick that he was talking to Tibbs. Do your homework. Talking about when Dante was yelling? Yeah, I no, you did not bunk nothing, Crim's dad. With the whole Dante thingy, I'm not mad at the Dante trade because you got Towns. And to me, Towns, he's just the better player. Especially this past season, if you look at Randall, Dante, and Towns is the best player by far. And Randall might not even be with the Timberwolves unless something changes. So it was a deal that you had to make. I need everyone to up their comment game for the next week. Give Karan some hot takes. Tendril, trust me, I get a lot of comments. I forgot to screenshot the comment of the week. So when I saw your comment, I just made it the comment of the week. But I want to give a big time salute to everybody that was in the building, man. Crim's Dad, you won't get there. But you know what, Chris Dad? You know why I don't like your comments, man? Because you just, I don't know, man. It's like you right there. You know what it is? I'm gonna tell you what it is, Crims Dad. You are the Coach Tibbs of comments. You are the Coach Tibbs of comments. No, you have some good comments, but it's just not good enough to get the prize. Like Coach Tibbs. You are the Coach Tibbs. You are the Coach Tibbs of comments, man. AP says, I said 57 wins. Listen, I'm going to tell you guys, hold on. I'm going to tell you guys, go here, okay? It's a great read, right? I animated the photos, right? So I ain't got to worry about no issues with copyright. See this right here? This is my AI joint right here. Go read this article, man. Trust me. Yo, just read it. It's worth the read. Hold on, let me do this. Let me see if I could do this. Thank you, Still Knicks fans. Salute to you, Still Knicks fans. Are you going live later? Are you going live later? If you are going live, go check out Still Knicks Fans Weekly. It's a great show. Those are my peoples over there. And you will see me on Still Knicks Fans Weekly soon. I got to talk to the boss, Ron, about when I could get back on the platform. But you will see me over there soon. I put the link in the chat to the article. So all my people that think that we overachieve and underachieve, click that link. Okay, yeah, Still Knicks Fans will be going live tonight at 9 p.m. So make sure you're there. I'll be in the chat. If not in the chat, I always listen, even if I'm not in the chat. Let me see. I Googled the Knicks podcast, and I don't see Still Knicks Fans. And we getting there. We going to be there. We going to be there. They had us, somebody said we was there for the 4-hour joints. You know, Saturday, Know the Ledge. Knicks call-up show Friday nights. That's a fire lineup. Let's see. Crimes that I will say this. You will see this week inside the Knicks. I'm planning on taking this blog to a whole another level. So you will see this everywhere. But yeah, go read this article. Yeah, if you think the Knicks overachieved, put it like this. If you think the Knicks overachieved, then you believe in the old media Kool-Aid. I just say it like that. But that's all I got for you guys today, man. I want to give a big time salute to Still Knicks fans in the house. Crims Dad, Knicks tape. Well, you're not in the Discord server with Crims Dad, but you are a channel member. Salute to Crims Dad. Salute to Tendril, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server channel member. Right? Salute to AP, one of the first channel mods on this channel. Salute to you, AP. I see you in the building always. Salute to Wildly. Salute to John Bryce. Good to see you, John Bryce. Salute to Buzzer Beater. Salute to FS Wisdom. How could I forget the great FS Wisdom channel member? Salute to who else I'm missing? Of course, Knicks will be Chance 2526 channel mod, channel member, Knicks Tape Madness Discord server. He's definitely the conversation starter in the Discord server. He's always gonna put something in there to make you think. I want to thank everybody for joining the show, man. We'll be back. I'm gonna try to come back on Wednesday. I'm going to do a members only live chat. Don't know what I'm going to talk about yet. I might talk about this topic. I might do this. I was thinking about doing this. I might do this topic on Wednesday. We'll unpack the overachieve, underachieve. Read the article. Wednesday we'll be back, all right? And of course, the call-up show will be back this Friday, 10:45 p.m. We're not changing the time. You know, not yet at least. So we'll be back Friday, 10:45. That's all I got for you guys. And until next time, it's always, let's go Knicks. And Leon Rose, we on your body.